Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another extremely exciting release because we have the newest Dino Dream release. We've got ourselves the caged Compsognathus. Obviously, this is a Lost World Jurassic Park release, and it's one that I was definitely looking forward to because, yet again, it's another very cool scene that you just don't see replicated very often. In fact, I don't know that I really ever have, but it basically is replicating the scene where all of the different dinosaurs are sort of captured and, you know, they've been put in different cages and everything. We've got, like, InGen crates and stuff, and, you know, you've got the compies this time around, you know, in the cages, and it looks really neat. The images that Dino Dream had shared definitely sold me on this one very quickly, so I'm pretty hyped to get this out of the box and check it out. You can see the box art is incredible, as it is every single time. Dino Dream's boxes are the best in the business, if you ask me. They really don't get any better than this, whether it be the artwork or the overall layout, design, everything on these boxes is exactly what you would want for a Jurassic Park product. Like, it just doesn't get more perfect than this. And you can, of course, also see that we've got a number up here. That is the limited edition number of this set. That is 388, which is my number. Again, whatever one you get would be a little different, but that tells you that this is a limited edition, which means if you really want to get it, you definitely need to order it soon. You can see up here on the top of the box, you've got the Lost World Jurassic Park logo, currently upside down. If you look over here at the side, you could see a nice little image there, kind of like a sneak peek of the compies. You've got one compy inside the cage, one compy outside the cage. And if we turn it around over here, again, another sneak peek of the set. You've got the compies now a little bit different as far as one sitting on top of the cage, one opening it. And what's cool about this set is it seems like you can alter the positioning of the figures basically to however you want, which definitely gives you some leeway with how you want to display it. And then if we turn it around and now actually flip it over because it's upside down, you can see that we've got some more images here on the back of the set. Again, some close-up images, as well as, of course, this image showing the entire thing off here in one shot. So let's pop this box open and check it out. So first of all, contained within the packaging, you've got yourself a card, and the card replicates the art that we see on the front of the box very nicely. And another thing I really love about these cards, first of all, it's, you know, put into a plastic slip, which helps to keep it nice and safe and undamaged. But you can also see that you've got the limited edition number on your card. It's not just like, you know, painted on or anything, like it's actually stamped onto the card. There we go. You can see it's stamped on. And you've got the Dino Dream logo here on the back. So really, really cool. Love the fact that they include these cards with these Dino Dream sets. And then we've got to bring in everything piece by piece. So first of all, we've got ourselves one of these crates. And as you can see, we'll take a quick look at the crate itself. You've got the Lost World Jurassic Park logo on one side, a little handle over here, and then the InGen logo on the other side, and then another little handle. So that's really cool. We'll put the InGen side out for right now. Then we've got the other crate, and I like that you can give off the... Actually, that's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. Just now I did. So one crate has the Lost World Jurassic Park logo. The other crate has the Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary logo. So this really gives you even more options. You can turn this around and have an InGen logo on one side and the JP 30th Anniversary logo, or an InGen logo on this side and then the Lost World logo, or just two InGen logos, or again this, both of the Jurassic logos. That is just really cool. Little things like that, again, I'm a big fan of. We'll turn it around for the InGen logo. Actually, we'll go with both InGen logos just so it looks as legit as it would in the film. And then we've got ourselves the cage here. When I first pulled this out, I heard something rattling in it. I got concerned that maybe it was broken, but it's actually the lock. So I just pulled it out and then put the lock on the door. So again, Dino Dream just absolutely delivering every aspect of this set that you would want to see, including the lock for the door. Now we'll go ahead and reposition this a little bit just to get a better view, because we then have our Compsognathus, and there's one right there, and then we've got another one right here. Put him over there. Oh, I put him too far over, actually. There we go. That's better. So now you can see the set complete sitting here before us. Obviously, it's not exactly set up inside the cage. You've got like some straw and stuff that you would want to lay out inside the cage to really, again, complete the overall scene. And then, of course, one of these compies, which would probably be the standing one, would be inside or should be inside the cage. And the other compy has obviously not been caged up, but right out of the gate, you know, it looks incredible. It really is quite the impressive visual here with the engine crates as well as that cage and the compies. It just brings back the Lost World vibe so perfectly, and definitely something that to me is as nostalgic as it gets growing up. You know, younger when I saw Jurassic Park, and then of course the Lost World Jurassic Park. I was still fairly young when that film came out. Again, it just brings back the best vibes possible. So let's go ahead and jump straight to a closer look, and we'll check everything out from there. So starting with the compies first, of course, you again have this version that is in a seated position, and you can see it looks gorgeous. The sculpt is fantastic. I know that Dino Dream often uses the original Stan Winston data for their figures, making them as accurate as you're going to find anywhere. Again, when you use the original Stan Winston Studios actual data and scans of the original figures and original models and stuff, like, it can't possibly get better than that. And of course the paint apps of Dino Dream are always so nice. But you can see this compy again is in a seated position. We've got the mouth closed. When you get nice and close, you can see how nice and vibrant the detail is, as well as how nice that paintwork is. The eye looks great right there. You can see a really nice gloss coat added to the eye. You've got variations of greens here in the face. You've got a little bit of like a pinkish or a reddish tone there around the eye, a nice black eye. You also have even like some blues, like some slight hints of blues on it, some darker tones up there on the top of the head that it's not going to focus on for some reason. Wow, really doesn't want to focus on that. Alright, I give up. But you can see again as you move back into the neck, you've got all kinds of really nice skin wrinkles and stuff. You have that very nice thin appearance that you would expect to see for a Jurassic Park compy. You've got the lighter, like reddish tone there on the underside of the neck, as well as some yellowish greens as you move down through the underside of the compy. And the transitions back and forth, like, look at how natural and smooth that is. It looks really good. And then, of course, you also have the darker greens moving along the back, as well as that striping effect that you should be familiar with on Jurassic Park compies, if you are familiar with the dinosaurs at all. As you lead down into the arms and hands, you can see the hands are sculpted really nicely, or at least you could if my camera would focus on it. It's having a hard time focusing on these little compies. There you go. You can see the fingers. Even the nails are painted. Again, they've got a nice glossy look for the nails. You've got a different variation of color as you move down into the hands right there. As you lead back, you can see the muscle definition and everything in the legs. You can also see again that the texturing looks really, really good, and the paintwork as well is very nice and natural. Like, it's just the way that they've applied it. You can see a good bit of variation to the different greens as you move through. And then you move down into the feet, and you can see, there we go, the foot sculpts look really quite nice. You've got, again, kind of like a yellowish tone down there for the feet. You've got the nails painted as you lead down, nice glossy black for those nails as well. And yes, even the dew claws are painted. And then you lead out, you've got a really nice long tail for your compy. Again, that's definitely something you would expect to see. You've got the different variations of greens as you move out. The underside sports, again, really nice yellowish tones and greenish tones. And then you've got the undersides of the feet also nicely painted. You're going to see pretty much the same thing, of course, over here, because there's not really too much of a difference when it comes to the pose of this one from one side to the other. He's basically just sitting there looking at his buddy who is caged up, but it looks gorgeous. Absolutely a killer Compsognathus. And then we've got the other version here, the kind of standing version here that's caged up, and you can see the inside of the mouth looks really nice. This time we actually have the mouth open so we can get a look at the teeth in there. Very, very small teeth, but they have like a genuine sharp look to them, which shows you again just how impressive the Dino Dream products are, considering the size of this figure. Like, I can fit that head within my fingertip. It's crazy impressive paintwork and detailing and everything on this figure. You can see that the compy basically is, of course, the same type of paintwork, except you can see the tongue sticking up there on the inside of the mouth. Sports a nice pinkish tone, and the teeth are painted pretty nicely. Again, if we can get in there, there you go. You can really get a good look at it. And again, the paintwork of these, it's just so crazy impressive considering how small they are. They are honestly painted as nicely as I would expect to see on a full-sized maquette, maybe actually even better. I do have the Chronicle Collectibles maquette of the original Compy, and this is painted definitely quite a bit better than that, larger full-scale version. You can see that they've got like darker tones up there on the top of the head. As you move down into the neck, you do have a nice turn to the neck. You can see the Compy turning its head to the left. Again, you have the same style of paintwork as you move down with the different variations of greens, darker greens and stuff leading down. You've got that striping still. You can kind of make out the rib cage a little bit right there, but you can really see again all the different variations of green and how nicely applied they are on the figure. You can see the arms are almost in the same position, slightly different. One arm is held a little bit further back. Both legs are kind of planted on this one as it's just sort of standing there. You've got the nails again painted with a nice glossy black, and then you have the tail leading all the way out, and I like how it kind of comes down toward the ground and then curves back up a little bit. Such a long tail on these Compys. The underside as well, again, sports very nice variation of color. You also again have those like reddish or pinkish tones in the throat, underside of the lower jaw as well. And again, the different variation of color for the underside of the Compy. You can even see like some slight pinkish tones showing up right there on the back of the calf muscle. And then if we turn it around, you're going to see pretty much again the same thing over here. Just beyond impressive paintwork for something like this, beyond impressive detailing, and just in general, again, a perfect, as I smack the light over here, a perfect interpretation of a Jurassic Park Compy. This is also, if I can remember correctly, the very first time we've had a Dino Dream Compy like this that doesn't have pegs on the feet, because the other set that came out prior to this was kind of like in the wooded area, had a bunch of pegs that you had to apply, and if I remember correctly also, the older Compys as well that were released by Dino Dream had pegs. So it's pretty cool to now have a version out that actually does not have the pegs on the underside of the feet. And then we also have the cage, and again, the cage looks absolutely awesome. It really replicates the cage perfectly from the Lost World Jurassic Park. It also feels like it is in fact a variation of like a metal, so it has that realistic look for sure, because it pretty much is exactly what you would expect to see in the film. And again, the coloration is spot on to the way it would look as well. And as you lead over, you can see that we have that kind of like straw in there, exactly also what you see in the Lost World. Again, you want to have like stuff like that down for the dinosaurs to stand in. But what else is cool is, again, as I said, we have the lock, which you can pull that out, and then if we pull that out, I can get a hold of this. There we go. You can open the door. The door is absolutely operational, and then you can go ahead and pose this with the door open if you like, or again with the door closed and then locked. So that is really cool. And then, of course, we've got ourselves the crates, and we've got a beautiful InGen logo right there on the front of the crate. Now, the crates feel like they're some sort of like a resin, I guess. I'm not really sure exactly what the material is. It's definitely not a wood, but it does look as legit as it gets when it comes to looking like wood. The sculpt really is very nicely done. Again, if I didn't actually have this in my hand, I would 100% be fooled into believing that this was in fact a wooden crate. It's that nicely sculpted and painted. Again, you can see all sorts of slight variation of color as you move through. I love that they have the handles on the side, and yes, the handles as well can move. They are also operational. And then you've got that Jurassic Park 30th anniversary logo here on one side, which again just looks so beautiful. Really nice silver coloration for that. Nothing really going on up here outside of like, of course, the sculpt and paintwork, but you can see again the handle on the other side. And then if you actually look at the underside of it, you have all of the information on the model itself, as well as again the limited edition number, which you can see is a full total limited edition of 3,000. So not very many in the overall grand scheme of things. The next crate is going to pretty much be the same as the first one, except you've got the same InGen logo and stuff, same handles, same style paintwork, same style sculpt work, but we now have the Lost World Jurassic Park logo again on the side rather than the 30th anniversary logo, and it looks so nice with that Lost World logo. But then the underside also again has that same information, again the same limited edition number and everything. So let's go ahead, assemble this, get the Compy in the cage and everything, spread that straw out and stuff, and we'll check out the final product fully put together. And there we go. We now have the set constructed, put together exactly as you could have it. Again, this set is really cool because it gives you different options, different possibilities as far as how you would like to display your compies. And in this instance, I have it looking like the compy is escaping currently. Maybe that first compy was smart enough to come up and somehow unhook that lock and help it out. Maybe this is the work of Nick Van Owen. I don't really know, but our compy is currently in the process of getting out of the cage. But it does look as honestly epic as it could possibly get. And definitely one of the coolest Jurassic products that I think I have in my collection now. It's just such an underrated moment, like when the dinosaurs escape in the Lost World and they start to kind of just wreak havoc, or even just when they're caged up. Like, it's just such a cool scene where they kind of run through and show a few different dinosaurs kind of, you know, held captive. And I feel like it's probably one of the more underrated moments of that film, so it is neat to actually have a model that captures it so nicely. As far as a size goes for our set, though, the compies are the same size as the last time we had compies. I don't honestly know where I can even go to measure them, but if you look here for a length on this compy, we are looking at about 5 1/4 inches, or around the like 23, a little over 23 centimeters, maybe approaching 23.5, but not quite. And if you go for a height standing on the crate, about 2 inches or 5 centimeters. The other compy's pretty much going to reach that same size range. I've reviewed quite a few of these compys now from Dino Dream, and they're always in the same scale, so no need to be too concerned with a different size when it comes to these compys. As far as the crates go, for a height about 5.5 inches or around 14 centimeters, and I can't get that out. And then for a length on the cage, about 9 1/4 inches or 23 and approaching 23.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, Robert Muldoon, and the Collect Day human being next to our compies. And you can see that even though this is a Compsognathus set, it does actually sport a very large, very impressive size as a whole. You know, you've got some pretty big crates in this set that definitely help to amp up the size, and then the cage does as well, as it's a pretty decently sized cage, and the compies are no slouches. Again, for Compsognathus figures, they're fairly decently sized themselves, so definitely a very nice size set as a whole. And then for one more comparison, because I really don't think we need very many since we've already again reviewed quite a few of these compies in the past, but we have the original release, one of the original compies from Dino Dream, which you can see here. Again, definitely the same scale, definitely the same size, not really much different outside of the appearance of the Compsognathus. So this Dino Dream Lost World Jurassic Park, also Jurassic Park 30th anniversary Compsognathus model, is really awesome. Honestly, I love this, and in fact I've loved every single Dino Dream release to come from this line. I'm so happy that they have the official license to produce these figures, because in my opinion we've been getting the best Jurassic Park type collectibles that we honestly ever have from Dino Dream continuously. Like, they don't just give you those models and stuff that you expect, like the classic scenes. They take the scenes that you don't know that well, or the scenes that aren't quite as appreciated as others, and they've been bringing those to life instead. So I've been really loving everything that they've produced. And yet again, this Compsognathus set is fantastic. You've got two beautiful compies that perfectly replicate the look of the Lost World Jurassic Park compies. Very nice vibrant greens on them. They've captured, as far as I can tell, all the different tones of color you would want to see for a JP compy, and again nicely applied it to the figures. And the sculpts, like I said earlier, coming from the original Stan Winston Studios data, is the single most accurate Compsognathus that you are going to find when it comes to a Jurassic type compy. The cage is really nice as well. I love the fact that the door is operational and there is a lock on it, so you can kind of lock the compy in, or you can have the cage open. Again, giving you definitely countless possibilities as far as how you want to display your compies. It's a really, really cool looking cage, and the fact that you can, again, alter the positioning of the compy so nicely, since they don't have pegs and don't have any specific spot that they have to stand. It's definitely a really cool touch to this set. And then the crates, I think, are just the icing on the cake here, because the crates, on top of looking beautiful and picture perfect, sport those gorgeous InGen logos, and of course both the Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary logos on them, giving you even more possibilities as far as how you would want to pose the set and everything and display the set. You can have it with just the InGen logos out, you can have it with the Jurassic logos out, or a mixture of both. It's up to you, and again, just more appeal to this set if you ask me. So overall, this is another absolutely incredible set from Dino Dream, and definitely another set that I highly recommend picking up. So if you are interested in doing so, I will include a link in the description to Lana Time Shop, where you can head on over there right now, purchase this set for yourself. As I said, being a limited edition of only 3,000, you really want to get on purchasing this as soon as possible so you don't miss out, and then you don't have to worry about trying to buy one later on for a much higher price. So if you are interested, check that link, go grab this set right now, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.